welcome to Osteo and Physio YouTube channel. Today's back to basics video is looking at movement through the lower spine. Today's video is looking at basic movement through the lower spine. So if you've had any history of issues with your lower back or any stiffness and pain, it's really nice to go through this movement in a lying down position. So you want to start with feet planted on the floor. What we're going to start with is gentle knee sways side to side. So really gently moving through that lower spine. So again, want it to be a lovely slow controlled movement, aiming between or up to 10 reps on each side. Good. We can start to add flexion and decompression of the lower spine. So to start off with an easier version, you can start with one leg flexion. So bringing it up towards your chest, clasping hands behind the knee and pulling towards you. Holding for a second and then slowly dropping back down and swapping sides. And again, you're aiming up to 10 reps, lovely, slow and controlled. You don't have to force the movement through. So even initially, if it's just bringing it to here rather than all the way down, that's absolutely fine. We then want to integrate bilateral flexion. So still getting decompression of the lower spine, but starting to really gently add in that movement, bringing both legs up at the same time. So bringing it up to 90 degrees, holding over the knees, clasping the hands together and then pulling the legs towards your chest. Good, and just bringing it towards, so 10 reps in this vector. Good, and then if you wanted to, you can start to add in the knee sways like we did before, but with just a little bit more flexion and decompression at the same time. And again, all lovely slow and controlled movement through the lower spine. We can next move on to a standing series of movement. So starting with very gentle flexion, so general mobility of the lower spine. So popping chin down towards your chest and then dropping forward as if touching the floor. Again, this is optimal, but you don't have to come down this far. So even if it's just dropping chin to chest and then rolling down just slightly, that is enough to integrate flexion and then over time building up that range of motion. So again, chin towards chest and then aiming down towards the floor. Lovely, slow and controlled. And then coming back up, aiming for about 10 reps or up to 10 reps. Then going into the extension, an exact same thing. You don't want to force it through this range, but it's getting you to slowly move back into that extended position. So start by looking up towards the ceiling. That might be enough initially with that slight bit of extension, but if you're happy extending back, just leaning back a little bit through. And then gently back to the middle. If it's still feeling a little bit, you're not in control or it's a little bit sore, you can place hands on the back of the pelvis and then use that just to stabilise slightly as you're going back into that extended position.